All right. I think we're live. Are we? Yeah. Yeah, we are. All right. Hi everyone. This is Loop Hero. Fun little game that I actually started playing like a couple of months ago, and it had me really just burn hours on it, and like unexpectedly, I didn't expect to spend so much time with it. It's like a roguelike type of game, roguelite maybe. It basically it has you do the same kind of thing in general over and over again, and then you incrementally get better. Like you have to upgrade your camp, and then each time you get better. What's nice about this game is because during each loop, even though you have the incremental upgrades, you can still really like tailor every single game to how you feel, even for that day. Like you can make it difficult if you feel like maybe just idling a little bit, like you're watching, I don't know, your seventh rerun of The Big Bang Theory. That's when I played this game, right? So, and I'm not gonna start a new game, so I'm just gonna go into like what I've been doing. Actually, I'm clicking on my stream, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just start my save file that I had. I'm pretty far into like the meta progression with this save file, so I'm just quickly gonna give you like an overview. So what we see here, this is like my base camp. Yeah, you start out with just your your little campfire, and then you build everything, all the tiles around it, and every tile gives you like a boost, incremental. It unlocks new cards. Now, when I say cards, I'll show you what I mean by that a bit later on. Like here you can see like the resources that I have. These are the resources that you gather each time you play a game that you can take back. There's a really nice mechanic around those as well. Again, we'll get into that later. And then, so this is basically how I've set up. It looks pretty populated. But I already know, like from watching other streams and other videos, that this can get still, even though I played like 33 hours at this point, it still gets a lot bigger than this. You've got the build option. So this is like the skill tree, really, like a kind of skill tree. Like you can go in and then if you like buy, for instance, the alchemist tent, it lets you unlock a different card within the game, and the cards you use to like build your own custom experience each time. Statistics, well, that's who cares. These are the supplies. Again, these are stuff. This is stuff that you like can take back from your in-game runs, and then you can like add them, and they give you like really small bonuses. Like for instance, attackers receive 1 damage after every hit. All right, so that's 1 damage. That's nothing, but still, add everything up. You can make an impact, right? I don't even know what this is. These are like filters. Like they upgraded it a while ago, or they patched it, I should say. So there are some mechanics that I'm not familiar with, some optimizations. I'm looking forward to getting to know those as well. But let's see. Crafting, you can craft your own things as well using your resources. You can just choose basically if you want to make some, different types like food, furniture, or tools. And then you can craft it and then add random. It adds it to you. And this is just your encyclopedia, which shows you all the cards that you've unlocked, that you've become familiar with. And as you can see, there's still quite a lot of cards that I haven't even seen yet, right? And this might not seem like it's like too much, but you have to understand like all these cards, they synergize in a way with like other cards. And then it's like the complexity, it's like with a chessboard, like the amount of options and things you can do just like grow almost exponentially. It's really insane to me that after all of the time that I have played this game, this is still, like there are still blanks. Common enemies, again here, you can see the blanks, all that. It's you can click them, it shows you like some of the dialogue options that you've had with them. Like dialogue options, they're not, like, for some they're really interesting, and there is definitely lore to this game, but I haven't really dived into those. And So, but it does gives you like a little bit of a description, and it also shows you what they drop when you kill them. Now, so the loots or the resources, I should say. In the beginning, I didn't really focus. I just did my runs on the basis of like how I felt, how I would be strongest. But nearing like when you start like going towards like the 70% of the game, you really want to know what they drop, because some of the resources are scarce and you need them to like upgrade certain elements, which you really want to do because it unlocks new features. So that's a really fun mechanic. Then you've got your your resources, really, like that I mentioned, that they also say like how you can get them, all that from there. Furniture, tools, this stuff you can make, like I showed you earlier. Then they can help you like in game, like incrementally, like very small. But you can like also tweak your build prior to starting it on that basis. And then like the top one is the expedition. So there are 4 chapters basically in this game, right? So we've got number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. I don't think I've ever even done number 4 yet. But basically, so there's like a different end boss, and then here you can also see like if you do like the first expedition, it's a bit easier, but you get less resources. Gets a bit harder still. Bam, right? So and then you can see like the additional class stats that they get. So your enemies, they like aside from their just general tankiness or damage output, they just get the different abilities, and those abilities they can, like playing this game is a completely different game than playing this game, right? Because of just how the enemies change, which I also think is just like so amazing. Like, when I start a game like this, I don't want to say like I contemplate, but I do kind of feel like what do I feel like doing today? Like, do I just want to go for an easy enough run? Because don't get me wrong, like if you go for this, it doesn't mean you'll win. Like you still have to very much be careful of the build and how you're going to do it, right? So I think for this one, we're just quickly going to go into chapter 2. Enemies have 1 to 2 abilities. They have just a basic normal strength. Their strength grows 3% every loop, and we'll get to the loop later, which is basically like the gimmick for the game. And you get like 40% more resources than you would towards the first chapter. And the max amount of resources that you can take home after a successful expedition is 20 per resource, right? I think that's per resource. Anyway, I am going to be playing as a rogue. So there's like 3. You've got the warrior, you've got the rogue, and then you've got the necromancer. We'll start, we'll show you like what the differences between those. I like the rogue, especially for now, because there's like the major difference for me between the rogue and the other classes is that like the loot you get to like upgrade your gear, it just only happens once per loop, which again I'll show you a bit later on. But it just gives me a little bit of peace of mind, right? And then so anyway, we'll just get into it and we'll start the game now. All right, so right click and I can pause the game. I go into planning, right? Because the loop, it just keeps going, right? And it just keeps going and it keeps going, all the time. But sometimes you really just want to take a break and just see where you are, especially as a rogue, because when I do the full loop, this going back to the camp is a full loop, then that's when I get all my gear from my little loot bag. The trophies that I've gained, the trophies from all of my slain enemies, and then I can convert them into gear. And I will attach some of the... Oh, I don't have a shield slot. Okay. And then I'll just put it like this. Here we have the arsenal, a central hub for the true masters of warcraft. You have to say that in a specific way. They can teach anyone to fight with any weapon. It basically what it does, it unlocks an additional equipment in slot, but it reduces the overall item quality by 15%. So why did I put this card in? I should have showed you the card system. Anyway, another day. So basically, I chose to add the arsenal card because I do like having more. Because I want to go for a certain type of build. In this case, I want to really go for like quick attacks and critical damage. So hit fast and hit like a truck, right? So I'm not going to go for a lot of health or sustain. I want to burst people down, right? And with this, the arsenal, when I put it down, let me see, where do I want to put it? I'll just, I don't know. You know what? I'll just put it right here. I don't care. So here it unlocks the necklace, and the necklace, it gives you a magic shield. That's basically its base stat. It gives you a magic shield. So for this loop, for this expedition, I should say, my goal is to have the shield soak up any initial damage. Like if I go up against 4 enemies, and then by the time the shield breaks, I will have like busted the room and rickety wrecked everyone already. All right, so we just go. I put the speed to +3. So, and then you can see, like, after every kill, you get like resources or cards that I chose beforehand. Like, this is the cards I want to be able to receive. I am gonna go for. I am gonna go for. So I have a village right now, which I'm gonna put right here. Right here. Right, yeah. And basically, so the village, it's a place where you can heal. But if I put a vampire nest next to it, then it there we go. So here we have a vampire mansion that I'm going to put here. As you can see, like, it changed this card. So it went from a village to a ransacked village, which means it spawns up to 4 goals once per loop. So if I go past camp, it will spawn 4 additional goals. But after I complete 3 loops, it spawns into something more useful. Now, basically what that means, it becomes the Count's land. So it no longer spawns enemies. It only gives me the health boost, and it gives me a quest. When I go past through the village, the villagers, they will give me a quest, which means that one of the other enemies that might spawn at random will get a little crown. They'll become tougher, but the rewards for killing that enemy will be much higher. So basically, the initial difficulty is going up. However, the later reward is very interesting. I'm gonna build a mountain range right here. I'm gonna build some rocks. So there's also synergy when I build my rocks in a certain way. Let's keep going. I'm just gonna gather up some cards, see what happens, and then I'll show you, like, okay, we can see the 4 ghouls already gathered there. All right, I'm just gonna pause right there. All right, so first card we got is the Road Lantern. That's a friendly card. Basically what it does is, if I put it here, for instance, I'm not gonna, am I gonna put it there now? Am I gonna put it there? I kind of, yeah, so I kind of should have had the village here in the way that, anyway. I am gonna put it, I should have put this village here. Alright, so anyway, I'm gonna put the lantern here. What the lantern does, it reduces the maximum number of spawning enemies on the tiles around it, which basically means that this part here, which is in the blue, instead of having a maximum of 4 enemies, it'll have 3. It can stack, which means that if I put another lantern, let's say here, then these 3 will only spawn a maximum of 2 enemies. So let's say if I want to make this like a bit of the hotspot of danger for every loop, then I can like tweak how difficult it's going to be for me. I am going to put the battlefield right here. No, not right here. I'm going to put it right here. What it does, it spawns a chest on one of these 2 tiles that it has, overlapping. However, if I put another tile here that spawns enemies and it spawns here, then when they die, if they have a soul, like I said, it can get pretty complex, but then they can spawn a ghost. Usually, like on its own, I find it's a big buff. That's why I put it in the beginning. It's not very tough guy. I want to have to, so on the one hand, you want to put all your difficulty here when you just pass camp and you've healed up a bit. On the other hand, and that's my preferred method, I'd rather have it at the end. And then because then at the end I can measure how well the loop went, and then I can still make changes before I get there again. I'm just gonna place the mountain right here, and then a river. So the river, I'll show you a bit later what it does as well. Thinking. What are you thinking about? I'm thinking I will put it here. All right, so the river, what it does, it doubles the effect of adjacent landscape tiles, which is amazing. It's super powerful, especially if you put, like, for instance, like forest or thickets. We haven't had a thicket yet. It doubles the effect. So my attack speed, instead of once it'll get plus 2%, right? So, but if I have more rivers around one, then it stacks, right? So it doubles and it doubles and it doubles. So you can imagine, like, then one thicket can have an insane boost to my attack speed, which is basically is going to have my rogue, like, just in a flurry of blades. All right, let's see what happens here, because they also get the vampire. All right, so I said maximum of 4. There's going to be a maximum of 4 anyway, always showing. However, because I have the Vampire Mansion, it can add to it in the fighting sequence. In this case, 5. So this is going to be a tough fight. But then again, after 3 loops, this should be over. Let's see how we fare. I think we should be fine. More than fine, right? But you have to be careful that because the health that you do lose at some point, it can be problematic because you don't get health back that often. All right, so we're gonna keep constructing the river. All right, forest. Put it like this, and then I think I'm gonna go like these. I'm just gonna put the forest like this because I want mostly the thickets around this, because thickets, they're twice as effective as forest. So I want to have forest around the edges. Anyway, let's keep going. 2 slimes, because we're next to camp and I've upgraded my camp. We get some support from the boys, and they're no problem, right? So we add the rock here. There we go. All right, we just passed go. And like I said, we gathered all the trophies from all the enemies that we've killed. We've traded them in at camp, and now we get the goodies. And basically what I'm going to do here is just quickly see. So magic shield 25, no difference. Let's put it like this. And at first, I'm just going to go with like the gray items, because here, like, this is 5-7, this is 11-16 gray items. So what's the difference between the different colors? You've got like yellow, blue, orange. Depending on the color, they will have 1 or more additional stats. So gray, you only have the damage in terms for your weapons, right? Blue, it has 1 additional stat. In this case, it's critical damage. So when I critical hit, it'll hit 21% harder, which is insane, right? So actually, even though this does a lot more damage, I'm going to go for this one right here, right? Just because I'm going to go again for that critical damage and the attack speed. So the attack speed, I'm going to have to buff up with my other things, like the boots. They don't have special stats yet, so. And away we go. And we kill the chest. The chest can be a mimic at times, so you know, I don't think they're always a problem. All right, we get another vampire mansion, and we get the wheat fields. Wheat fields, I should say. Let me just quickly always read those. Right, haystacks look like a cozy place to rest, but you have to move on. They can only be placed next to a village. It gives plus 10 HP to healing in adjacent villages, which is this one. Like every time I pass, I can get I regain a little bit of health. But it spawns a scarecrow every 4 days. Scarecrows, yeah, who cares, right? Not a problem. Not a problem at all. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right. Another vampire mansion right there. Let's go. This the zone to the left I'm gonna make, that's gonna be my another village. Let's go. Alright, so hang on. So now I get to place the village here, which is great. That is fucked up. That is a bandit camp. I forgot every 2 villages. For every so masters of the trade of trading their poverty for someone else's life. Dickheads basically. They spawn a bandit on an adjacent tile every 2 days. Bandits prefer villages, no shit. and it appears for every 2 village tiles. I should have remembered that. Anyway, basically what happens now, it can spawn a bandit and go here. Luckily, I place it within the effect of the lantern, which means that there's only going to be 3 characters in this one at a time. I'm going to put the thicket right. Right here. And river right there. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think we're fine. So we've got the ghouls, we got a vampire. The only problem with the bandits is they can steal your shits. They have like an RNG thing that if they hit you, they can steal weapons, not just from the loot that you didn't want at the beginning of the game, but they can even like steal your active gear. Which, if you do have like that one piece of gear that's like rounding out everything that you needed, that can be a bit of a problem. Let's put down the. Let me put it right there. So far, so good. All right, so they blew through my shield pretty easy. Yeah. So as you can see, like it seems like a little bit of damage, but this is actually pretty. I have to be careful now that I don't upgrade the difficulty much more, because the difference between just getting hurt a little and then just at some point just instantly get blown out of the water, it's so finicky. Like you have to be like really careful. All right, so we get the outpost, which is amazing, because the outpost basically I will put it. Where will I put it? I will put it here. So the outpost, basically what it does is soldiers from this outpost are always glad to help a traveler. Not for free though. It adds a guard on your side to battles on adjacent tiles. However, as payment for his work, the outpost will take away all yellow and orange items dropped in the battle, which is, you know, you can. I like it, right? Because as a rogue, you don't want to get swarmed, so I always like to have like basically they can tank some damage for me in difficult areas. In the meantime, I see I missed that I unlocked a trait. All right, so we get every now and again we get to unlock a new trait. Bottomless bottle, 40% chance not to spend a healing potion upon usage. I don't much care for this one because I don't intend to get low. And if I do get low, usually, because I'm not a brave man in that sense, I usually just opt out and just finish my loop. I don't like to take chances of just continuing the loop and then dying and losing all my resources, right? I don't go for the supplies either because I play safe. I don't feel like I need this. And then lethal weakness. For each missing 10% max HP, the hero has a 0.5 chance to attack for 1,000% damage. All right, so this one is even worse. All right, so I'm just going to go for the supplies then, right? Even though I don't like any of these, but I'm going to go for this one. Put down a mountain. Let's continue the river. Get into the thick of it. And like this, we make the curve. Like I want to get as many curves in there as possible so that the thickets, they get like the big buffs. All right, so we get goodies. Critical damage counter up. That's really good. Let's put that there. And then we've got the defense. I don't really much care. Evasion, damage to all. Yeah, that's not what we're going for, but for now, I'm actually going to go for the attack speed. Like I said, I want to go for attack speed. Then we have this one, which is the damage 914. 3 evasion. I will actually go for this one. And that's going to be it. Again, because I have the arsenal, my goodies are going to be a little bit less excellent than they can be. However, there is a trait that you can pick up, which basically negates it, and then it gives you a buff again to it. But like I said, I'm going to put so many enemies in the way so that I'm going to get a lot of trophies. Like with these enemies, again, they destroyed my shield right now, and by the time they did, I already got some of them down, which makes them manageable. And from that moment on, I just rickety wreck their day. It's a bad day to be a ghoul. All right, let's put down some rivers and then the forest. I'm just gonna put it here. Thicket. I think putting thickets here is actually very good as well. I think that's very good as well. Yeah. All right. And this is basically, like, in general, this is how you tailor make your own little experience. You can make your own little story. Oh, I misclicked that one. This is still, like, this is early days. Like, this adventure, it goes on for a bit, as you'll see later on. But it can, like, you can synergize everything. And there's so many cars that I didn't choose for this run, because I'm looking just to like, really just see how I can get the Rogue quick, the best. I think this is a great setup that I have here. All right, so put down the wheat field, put down some mountains later on. Let me see, forest, let's just put that one here, mountain right there. Get the rocks, more rocks, and then more mountains right there, and then we keep going. I think a goblin camp spawned, didn't it? Hang on. Yeah, alright, so the sound of backstabbing can be heard from miles away from the goblin camp. It spawns a goblin on an adjacent tile once a day, and it appears for every 10 mountain and or rock tiles. So I've placed more than 10 mountain and rock altogether, which spawned this one. Goblin camps can be such a pain. Like, if you go up to like 4 goblins, and if you did pick up a quest and one of the goblins is like a boss, they can heal and they enrage. So you really have to burst them down. If you go into a sustained fight with them, you will oftentimes lose, right? Unless you have like a specific build that's made for that. So as a rogue, it's not. So having a goblin camp, especially here in like the center of all misery right now, is somewhat of a problem. If it spawns here, I'm okay with that because, again, I've got the lantern. If it spawns here, I'm also kind of okay with it because I already have a scarecrow. So at least for the next loop, I feel like I'm fine. However, I do have to now really, be careful that I don't overstep my welcome. All right, so I'm gonna go for critical boom, that's massive. Let's see, critical damage chance, let's go. Hang on. That's even better. Pure damage, I don't care for very much. 4 damage all. What do we have now? We've got defense. I am just gonna go for the level 5 gray. If it's not attack speed and if it's not critical damage, then I will often just go for the gray, because if it has no additional stats, then usually its base stats are better. So again, that's also like, even like, just because it's a rare item doesn't make it the better item for your run. Like, so it's like these little changes. This game is just so amazing in that sense. I put down the rock. This became, now I'll show you later, a mountain peak. It upgraded. That's another synergy. Like, and all these enemies, like for instance, like the ghoul right here. It's undead. It has a soul. It's a corpse eater. Like, if I go for another chapter, it like adds to it layers of complexity, and in such a nice, nuanced way. It's like, this game is really, in terms of just design, it's so well made. It is really well made. So yeah, just eat the corpse, you filthy animal. All right, pause. So I put like another rock here, completed the 9 tile area, which upgraded it to the mountain peak, which is a stone giant. It could support the sky itself if it weren't already gone. Gives me a 118 additional HP, plus 5 max HP for every rock that I put around it. So I want to use rocks because it gives me a better yield than mountains. And it spawns a harpy every 2 days. So that's an enemy that spawns here and it just flies around the map, and if it hits my character and will zone in on it, then I have to fight it. So again, trade-off, but I don't mind harpies that much. I usually just, because I'm going for a burst build, I should be able to blow them out of the water. Put down the outpost. You know what? Outpost there too. And we just keep going. Get another trait. So I'm going to put it to planning for later. All right, so let's see what we got here. Nothing is sacred. plus 3 HP healed for each kill. That's good. That's God's Eye. 25% chance that any enemy will have one less ability in combat. No effect on bosses. I'm gonna go for Fuss, I think, right? Because I feel strong, so I want to get more enemies on the board. But I don't want them to just outburst me, just do the sheer numbers. I really like Fuss, and so basically means if they have like 5 enemies on the board, I'm gonna have a starting after second. If there's like 5, like 20% reduced. Actually, yeah, it's still very good. All right, river, put it right there, and then we're gonna go like this. Put another figure here. Why not? Now we keep going. I think I spawned something. I think I spawned a... Hang on. A village? A result of the forest's attempts to understand human civilization. It spawns a wooden warrior every 2 days. Appears on the road for every 10 forests and or thicket tiles. All right, so these guys they hit like a truck. I'll show you later, but I'm not worried because we have an outpost next to it. Should be fine. All right, I think I crossed here. All right, here. Let's see here. We have a counter. We don't want that. Attack speed is very good, but not good enough. Critical damage, easy. And then I don't see anything for damage to all. No, let's keep going. So this, you can see here, this is like a boss. It's a quest goal because I passed a village. It gives me better. Quest done. Well done. Going for like a specific build in mind when you start a game, for me at least, it makes the game like having to pause all the time or think. I know what I want to do, and I kind of go for it regardless if I get like the optimum equipment, because again, you can tailor-made it in such a way that you will get it if you make the correct decisions, right? I'm gonna put some wheat fields because it counts as a village. And then like this, the river goes like past here. I'm gonna put a forest right there. Yeah, let's go. Scarecrows are nothing to me. All right, I think both villages there upgraded to the count's lands. I'm gonna just pause it and tell you what that means. A little bit of goblin, a little bit of ghoul, a little bit this. Again, I'm not worried at all. Look at this. Easy, right? Okay, so the Count's lands. The village is thriving under the vampire's protection, and its inhabitants are very generous. It heals 170 HP upon entering, gives you a quest with a better reward. Both of these, so boom. You know, it just gives you such a big buff. I'm gonna put another vampire mansion down. Yeah. Just because I'm gonna put a temporal beacon down. Yeah, which a temple beacon, its light is so bright that it makes you forget about the passing of time. Each day passes 50% faster when within its range. So the days, I didn't tell you yet. So there's days. And every day, at the end of the day, I progress a little bit, so I get more health, right? So that's really good. Time Watchers may join the battle within its range, but they are afraid of vampires. So by having so many vampire mansions here, I get the benefit of the day of the time passing faster here, and my dude going faster, everything. So there's like benefits to that, like inherent to it. It's just, but the chances of spawning the timekeepers is gone. If I wanted to get like, I will see some of them still, but if I wanted to like farm the resources from the timekeepers, then I would like put them like right here and get all that juicy loot from them. So this is actually, well, this is a watcher, right? So it basically it's an enemy on itself, and it drops all the things. Blah, blah, blah. It gives shields. Hey. Get wrecked. I'm not worried at all. Let's put another one right there. Let's go. I'm feeling super strong in this run already. Like I said, they hit like trucks, but we're Gucci. Boom, new goodies. Critical damage, easy. Evasion bonus, I like it. I don't want the counter, but I don't like. I like evasion builds where they just can't touch you, but that's not what we're going for. I don't want to go for the defense. Critical damage chance plus 6%. That's not better. And then no, I think we're good. Legendary boss Harpy. Yeah, he landed on the wrong square. Anyway, and then we just keep going like this. This is bad. I don't care. Like I said, I have to be careful that I don't get too overconfident, and and then it bites me in the behind. But yeah, and we just keep going like this. And you can see like the abilities here. It grants an ally 30 magic shield instead of attacking, only once per ally. Will flee combat if there are no more valid targets. So you want to burst him down as well to get his loot. Fatalism, 30% chance to receive only 1 damage from an attack. Yeah, so he escaped. Okay. So having a burst build, if I do want to farm his goodies, is actually very good. I don't really want to farm his goodies right now because it's been so long since I played last that I don't know what good resources I need. But if I do want it to, then I have the right build for it. So that's... Yeah. I don't feel like I'm missing out. All right, let's pause here for a bit. Put down the rocks. So the rocks, its magnificent appearance gives you strength for whatever reason. Gives me plus 2 HP, plus 2 more HP for every adjacent rock or mountain. So, ba-boom. And then wheat field. I don't have enough villages. Thickets. I'm gonna go like this. I have to make the turn there, so put a thicket here. Thicket here. Wait, keep going. I'm feeling really strong. Alright. And then... yeah, put down the river. Thickets. So this is the big fight basically right now that I have every loop, and as you can see... Ooh, actually... This is what I mean with the goblins. Like if they do get the upper hand, look how fast I lost half my bar in one fight. So, all right, let me make some changes. I am gonna put a village here. I am gonna put a river there, and the wheat fields. Let's go. The forest, just keep going. So I want to make the river loop around like a couple of curls, and then go back like this. And then, so I'm gonna put a thicket. Yeah, and a thicket. Yeah. Right, so then it goes like this. Alright, we're good. We're good. I'm gonna go through. See, I healed because I went through. Shit. Calm down. Alright, I hope I get an oblivion because this guy might wipe me. I almost got wiped. I need to get an oblivion, otherwise I'm not gonna survive the next loop. Oh no. Yeah, go away. Health. See what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, like, this loop might still kill me. I still have to go past the warriors. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This is really... That's a... Oh, shit. Okay. The day has to pass. I need to heal. Okay, Oblivion. Get out of here. And does it heal me as well? No. There's a perk that if you get the Oblivion... Alright, it's a new day. What the hell is this? Feel the blades? Ambush. Creature's first strike is always a critical... Oh, no! No! Oh. Anyway, so this is Loop Hero. Right? It's all fun and games until, like, grass kills you. I will lose. I'm just gonna retreat. I can choose to take all because I have enough boss skulls. But I honestly, what loop is it? It's loops. God dang, man. I'm just gonna retreat. All for naught. They gave me some stuff, but Anyway, This is Loop Hero, and this is basically the game. So I'm gonna do another run later on. Maybe do a warrior run or something. But I highly recommend trying out this game. I think you can play it. It's on Steam. Not sure if it's out on Android, because this is like, for me, this is like the perfect game to play on like a tablet or even like a Switch. Like, because this is something you can play on the couch. Like, I actually like, I use my work laptop at some point to even like get this on the couch, because like that's just a game. Like, for me, that's just like the natural habitat where this game should live, not sat behind your desk. But you know, maybe for you it is. I'm sat behind the desk right now and I had a great time. Anyway, I guess that's it. Thank you and goodbye.